Thank you for your service. Now I'll give you my backhand. My winner whizzes down the line. Betting. Weekly. Tennis. Live. Are you ready for it? Here we go.
All right, we got Betting Weekly Tennis Live. It's Mitch Michals and joining now Dustin Fox. What's going on, Dustin? Welcome back to the show. It's all on Bet Rivers and Because We Win Socials. You want to follow us all along as we start our triumphant return to North America for DC and the run to the US Open. But Dustin, man, what's going on? Oh, we got a mute situation. Self-mute. Let's see. Well, Dustin, as we get ready for his microphone setup there, it's a good time to tell you that we have a lot of big events coming up, including the City Open DC, which is maybe more loaded than the Toronto, Canada field as we gear up for the U.S. Open swing. We've also got action in Prague and the WTA circles, Kitzbühel, Umag. I mean, they are just playing tennis all over the world, really, but all eyes are on DC. This show will be focused on DC as well as some other events coming up, maybe some future talk. We'll see some graphics we have on the show. Let's see, Dustin, you got me? Still a little technical difficulties on that end. We'll try to get that sorted up. I think it's a good time to check the live lines before we get into some picks and some plays. In DC right now, you have Mueller leading Zukayev 3-1 in that first set. Mueller's a pretty solid favorite there. Big match early on between Zuzu Bergs and Dan Evans. It's on serve 2-1 in that one. We've also got Altmaier Arnaldi at 2-1 in the third set. Altmaier is on serve, or up a break, I should say, up 2-1. He's a -275 favorite in that contest as well. So we'll check in on a few others from the ATP. As we look ahead to some future matches later tonight. The WTA right now, some interesting matchups. One that I had my mind on earlier that just actually went final was one of the best young players in the game. Boku took out Potapova 6-2, 6-4. So let's see. We got you there, Dustin? Still not coming through on my end. Huh. Let's see. We'll try to get that sorted out here. In a little bit, but yeah, other big matchups coming up on the ATP front. There's some big matchups. We're really gearing up for the City Open. Venus Williams is playing Peyton Stearns. We'll get into that. Some big seeded matchups are going to be coming down the pike, and yeah, what we're looking at in Toronto too. So, and Montreal, I should say too. We have a lot going on in the world of tennis, and it's just an interesting time. It's better for our schedule too. I wanted to also mention the other events going on too, because I said Umag, you have Lajovic taking on Atmain. That one's 4-3 in the first set. And yeah, and doubles too, as we got in the chat too. We've got some dream team doubles pairings too. So Nick Kyrgios and Gael Monfils is one of the ones we're looking at. So yeah, a lot of times for some good bets, good opportunities to bet. And I think that might be a good one too, in terms of as we try to get Dustin's set up.
Can you hear me now through just the regular speakers?
Yeah, I got
All
you.
right, cool.
There we go.
We'll be fine.
There we go. Well, as I was trying to grandstand a little bit, but glad we got you back on the show. Yeah, it's an interesting time, right? Because City Open, and I was just saying, like, these matchups, given what we saw for the withdrawals in Canada, this tournament's just going to be as good. And first chance we're getting to see players on this hard court swing leading up to the Open.
Yeah, you know, it's fun to see the players back on the hard court. It's a different sport to watch for sure. And I wonder how much of a change it is for some of these players and how much how prepared they are, you know, to come onto the hard court, because it's you know, obviously a very quick grass court season. There's obviously some big events going on clay right now as well, and several events. So I'm excited for hard court season I mean, the end of the season, the end of the hard court season, and obviously with, you know, NYC and US Open and this DC. Obviously, we're going to be excited about our little tournament here in Cleveland, our little women's 250. But no, I'm excited to see it, and I'll be curious to see how quickly players can like adapt to the hard court and how like locked in they are on this event specifically in DC.
Yeah, I agree, and I also think the schedule makes it interesting. Not just the withdrawals from Canada, but the players that are playing. You know, the Canadian Open ends on a Thursday championship. Cincinnati gets right going, and then Cincinnati finals on Monday. Players, tennis players especially, are creatures of habit, so that's got to be different. Thursday final, Monday final, gearing up for the US Open. Looking at, and looking at kind of some of the first matches too. It's not going to be the end result, but I want to see what players are locked in. Maybe didn't have the best grass results, maybe took a little time off. I think there's great opportunities to find some things. So I wanted to get back to the live window because another matchup that's just starting on the women's side, Dustin. I had it circled today when we looked at the order of play, but Maya Joint's taking on Leylah Fernandez.
You've been on Maya Joint for a minute.
Look, that's a weird one, right? Because, I have been on her. I think she's a rising, I wouldn't say star. I think star gets tossed around a little too usually, but a rising player, could be a star one day. Leylah Fernandez, former US Open finalist. Joint comes into that match minus 150 favorite. So I don't know. I think Joint is the play here in this one, but I'm interested to see how this match progresses in the live window while we're on.
So it's funny. Maya Joint cost me money on grass this past grass court season, and she was in the final against Yala. Yeah. And did you watch that breaker?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Okay, so I had Ayala in the money line, and felt really good about it when she was like, had like maybe 3 match points. It doesn't matter. Point is, you never see women's breakers go over 10 points, and it did, and it was insane. And it was just both players in that particular match were so nervous at the end that it was just super tight. But no, it was a fun match to watch, and I only bring that up because that was the last time I watched Maya Joint play, and probably the most I've actually like studied her game and seen it. And I always tell you how, like, for me, when I bet against a player and lose, it makes me respect them even more. And so now all of a sudden Maya Joint is a player that every time I hear her name or I see her, I won't forget that, and I'll sort of remember this is a nice up and coming player here. Who I think has a chance to do some special things.
From Grosse Pointe, Michigan, too. So she's got the Midwest connection in there as well, originally from there. And the other thing, too, with her is that 2-0 in finals in her career, both this year. So got the clay title in Morocco, Eastbourne in the match she mentioned. So pretty confident in there, not rattled. We've seen that before, right, with young players. Players, even not even young, but when they get to the final for the first couple of times, they get jittery. We saw it in the Wimbledon's women's final too, but like it's a different type of pressure at any level when you're in a final. So she's been proven to be able to handle it. So yeah, I'm liking her game and the abilities there. So we shall see. We'll see where it goes. The other live match I wanted your opinion on is former DC champion Dan Evans in a battle with Zuzu Bergs. I've been high on what Bergs has done this year. He's really had the breakthrough for his career, really stepping up. But Evans is crafty. He's won here. And as we progress through this match, with Evans fighting off break points, I believe, and trying to get to 2-all. He's plus 130 on the money line. So I think it might be an opportunity to throw a little on Evans here. The crafty veteran, probably his last year on tour. And I think there's value, Dustin, when you have a player serving second. They're always going to be kind of like that slight underdog.
No, I agree. I like when you can get a player that is for serving second like that. And Dan Evans is a guy that I've watched for a long time. I didn't realize he was this close to retiring. I know he's kind of getting up there. And I guess I say that because recently, in the last like 6 weeks, he's playing as well as I've ever seen the guy play.
Yeah, he could Danielle Collins it and just be like, I'm actually playing pretty well. I'm going to keep it going.
Right. I mean, how old is Dan Evans?
34, maybe 30. We'll check that. But like, I just also think he's had some injuries. He made a really selfish decision to, chase Andy Murray and play doubles with him in the Olympics and forego City. So if you want to do the quick history lesson with Dan Evans, he won DC 2 years ago, decided to go to the Olympics just as a doubles player with Andy Murray in his last tournament. Evans is 35, actually, just turned 35 this year. But he lost all those points. So his ranking shot all the way down. And, at that point, it's hard to battle back. So That's what I'm looking at. But man, I like where our show is, always on the Bet Rivers app network, and we've got tons of opportunities. Again, subscribe to our channels, our social channels, the X account, Instagram, and YouTube, which is well over 10,000 subscribers and growing. But Dustin, now we're at a time where we do this show 1 o'clock Eastern time, where we're looking ahead to some matches throughout the day. So this is a good sweet spot for this show, especially given where we are. There's a lot of good matchups coming up today at DC. I mentioned the loaded field. Anything off the top that stands out to you before we bounce around?
The rest of today at DC, I would say, I mean, I actually could see Vukic take down Mpetshi Perricard.
Like that one. We got a graphic on that one. So that was one of the
Okay.
ones we looked at, and it was Vukic at plus 128, Perricard minus 159. Now I'm going to let you talk about why you think Vukic, and I agree, is a live underdog in this one. And as we research the tiebreak props, because they're catching up on it. We will have some thoughts on doubles in a little bit, but the tiebreak props are adjusting for Perricard for obvious reason. But Vukic, it basically, maybe this is a fade, Dustin, on Perricard. We just don't really know hardcore, especially outdoor hardcourt. He won the title in Basel, but way different conditions when you're indoor in Switzerland versus out in the humidity in DC.
I mean, I think that's a great point. The heat, humidity, that's obviously going to be a factor. But I'm more or less fading Perricard at this point. I mean, he has won 2 matches out of his last 7. He's just struggled right now. And frankly, he struggles even in tiebreakers. And so if he gets to a breaker, I don't even feel that confident that he's going to win that. So at these low odds, I mean, plus 128 that I can get Vukic, I mean, like, I think that's some serious value. And yeah, it's mostly a fade, but there's a big reason why. And he just hasn't played that well as of late. And you're also getting a big change here with the court. I think it may take him, especially him, a little bit more time to adjust, meaning like more than a week, more than a couple of days to adjust to getting on this new court. So I do like the plus odds.
That is an interesting, going to the comments. That is an interesting, if you like it, prop bet of Bazizvili over 5.5 aces. I mean, hey, though, we don't discriminate on this show. If you like it, play it, but not one that I've honestly done my research for. He's playing in UMAG against Carabas. So maybe on the clay. That's an interesting one. I would also say too, I mean, tie breaks juice.
Not a great serving venue though. Umag?
No, but I mean the value's there, right? 3. I mean, what
he's got 3-1 on it.
Yeah, he's got 3-1 on that. So that's an interesting one, right? Play a little filler. If you're gonna also play, because I mentioned tie breaks and Perricard, it's juiced up now. 1 tie break is like minus 360. If you feel like Perricard could win, or you're thinking this is a close match, I saw on Bet Rivers 2-1, Perricard winning in 3 exactly is plus 260. So maybe you sprinkle a little bit there. But yeah, it hasn't been easy for him, even in the matches he's won. So I think Vukic is live, and we saw it in Los Cabos, right? We saw Kovacevic make the final there, and he had a great run until he ran into Shapo in the final. And I think the first matchup of one-handed backhands in a final in a long time. But what you saw there was Rublev was a little rusty, still just, Dustin still just doesn't want to come to net. And in the semifinals, Kovacevic was able to play some of his best tennis, go bold. And, you're finding value in these tournaments because even the top players, they're a little rusty. We don't know their motivation. They're ramping up. So I would look at underdogs in this case, and Vukic is clearly one of them.
Another one, if you're okay with moving to another match, Mitch,
yeah,
that jumps out is Lerner Tien in Nava.
Another graphic we have here. So just playing the hits right now. We were on, myself and Tim Dennis last week, we're on Emilio Nava for a little bit, and it paid dividends. I'm not going to go out on a limb and, like Nigel and Sean we're on De Jong, and then almost won the tournament. They almost won the tournament in Bastad at 16-1. But Nava was a player who had been tearing up the Challenger Tour. And he got some nice underdog opportunities, won those matches, advanced, and didn't go all the way, but had a good showing at the tour level this time. He takes on Lerner Tien, who's been lighting the world on fire ever since beating Medvedev in Australia. He's a next-gener to watch. It's a fairly close line, Dustin, minus 155 for Tien, plus 125 for Nava. So what's your read on this match, given how Nava's played and also Tien in his first real full year as a pro?
I mean, Tien basically had he whimpered through the end of his grass court season this year, and wasn't that impressed with how he played. And look, a lot has come at him fast, right? In this first year, no one even knew who this guy was. Probably a year plus ago, like didn't really know who's Tien. Well, now he's got a win against the top 5 player in Medvedev in the Aussie Open, which is a tremendous win. We all remember that 5-setter. But he's still young, you know what I mean? Like all this is new for these guys. And so when you start getting a little bit of fame and you start doing like more interviews and just a lot more comes with that. And he'll figure it out. And he's a great player. Like it's gonna be fine. I just didn't like the way he finished the grass court season. I thought his match against the Mute match that he had on grass, where he just really struggled. I think the heat could become a factor today. I thought he was like not in great shape, honestly.
It's interesting, right? Because, losing those matches, I don't want to play, devil's advocate a little bit, but Mute, we know he's a wizard, especially on grass. And Jari, who just thumps that forehand, is tough. He beat Holger in that same tournament. Both of these guys, I think, and if Tien's in shape and he's feeling well, which is a big if, right? I think he's built to go long. We saw it in Medvedev. It went 5 hours. It was a brutal match. He beat Mute in Australia, and it was a long match. But Nava, same thing, right? Those matches in Los Cabos were long and brutal. The Boo match was long. Rublev even pushing him to 3. So pulling that graphic back up, I think I might lean over in this one. I think I could see a 3-setter. And I don't know if, I do think Nava on the money line is a slight play for me. But yeah, I'm thinking over if you want to play it smart, because I do think these two guys are, when in form, and that's a big if, right? I think they can play long physical matchups.
I think you're right about that. I was leaning like more on Nava, but it's such a slight, it's basically a pick 'em match.
Right.
So I think you just talked me into the over.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about betting smart sometimes too, right? I know it's -122, but I just think even the Nava matches he's won, right? You also want to look too at the players that might fade a little bit and might have, he's grinded to get to this point. So every match for him is a big deal, getting to this point, a 500 level event. Now, if he wins this match, we're talking not just financial sides, but ranking points and moving up in the world. Similar to like Shapo when he won in Los Cabos, back in the top 30 now. So like you're playing up for a lot of certain things. I actually thought about that during the golf, during the Open Championships, when Scotty Scheffler was running away with it. There were still a lot of people playing for positions, not just for finishing second, third for money, but getting that automatic entry into next year's slams,
No, there is still a lot to play for these guys when it's not just the title. That's also a great point, man.
Well, the other matchup we did have a graphic for on the women's side. Curious about this one. It's Maria Sakkari taking on Katie Boulter. And Sakkari has retooled her team. Tom Hill's back in the picture on the coaching side. She's trying to recapture some magic. She's a slight favorite over Katie Boulter, who another tough player, on the grass especially. So we'll see on the hard court. But this is a pretty close line. You see the over-under factor. Really, really close to call. Can Sakkari get back into the mix, Dustin, is the bigger question, because we know she's fallen. There's an injury side to it. Still, I think just about 30 or has turned 30. 29. So yeah, so this is the time, right? Like you gotta right the ship now before it's too late.
Boy, I sure would like to see it. When I first really got into tennis, in the last half dozen years ago, I would say she was one of my favorite players on the women's side. I just like her body build, how she's like an athlete, you know what I mean? And I respect that from tennis players who are like just really good athletes. And, and my wife is Greek, so she's a Sakkari fan too. So that certainly helps. But no, I would like to see her bounce back. You mentioned all those changes with her team. I wasn't really aware of all those internal changes that she had made, but that makes some sense. Certainly when players start to struggle, and whether it be, the medical, the physical, issues, the challenges that players can have, when it can really wear on you mentally, right? And so,
she said that. Yeah, she said that because the injury was a shoulder injury, but she said it might have been her body just telling her, like, you need to stop, you need a break, like it's, you're going too hard. And I agree. I mean, athletically speaking, I think there has been a mental block. Look at the slams. Like even when she was playing well, she just kept underperforming in slams. But tour level, she played well. I like her in this matchup because she seems healthy, and also Boulter on hard court this year just hasn't really had any results to speak of. So I'm going to play the surface card on this one where we're switching. She's played a lot of grass, did fairly well, different. And I think Sakkari, who's gone deep in some of these North American hard court events, is a smart play here.
What again? We have odds on Sakkari.
Yeah, minus 120 on the money line.
Yeah,
They're both minus.
Like them too. I mean, and small juice, on her in that. And I would probably, gun in my head, I would take Sakkari in this one. Mm-hmm. It's more of just kind of I'm a fan of her.
Yeah.
And so I would lean that way. I don't really have a strong opinion on this match.
So Evans and Bergs, just checking up on that one. 3-4 on serve. Evans about to serve. He's at plus 150. So it's the serve second theory if you like somebody there. And we have Fernandez joint just getting going 2-1 already in that one on serve, starting it off. Other DC matchups. This will be a DC heavy show, but if we got other matches to talk about, maybe we'll dip into the doubles as well.
Bro, by the way, wait until Thursday, Friday in DC when it really gets hot.
Yeah, I know. And Evans looking to cover too. That's another good one too. If you look at the games total, it's looking really good. Women's matches in DC. I mean, not just this one. I mean, if you watch some of our other shows, you've got great analysis and insight on some of the other matches coming up. But people are talking about Kostuk Raducanu. Emma's minus 167 versus Marta plus 133. It shows you form, like how quickly things change. If they played this match 4 months ago, the odds would be flipped, if not even more juice for Kostuk. But Raducanu might have found something. I'm also conflicted on this too, because I think Marta fights, and I don't want to just keep pushing overs, but at minus 167 and the 21.5 game spread, if you believe Raducanu is a surefire pick in this one, that I think you should find a future market and throw a little on her to win the tournament, because we're starting to see the numbers reflect like she might be back.
Well, I mean, when you're dating, okay. I'm kidding.
Alleged.
Not alleged. Dating rumored, a Grand Slam, multi-time Grand Slam champ, like maybe there's some, something rubbing off on her.
Doesn't it show you though how much value, or maybe overvalue, sometimes gets put into if you have a close loss versus a great player? Because and I think she played great. She was better than Sabalenka in that Wimbledon match. 100% outplayed her. I still talk.
My wife watched that match, and she's kind of sorry to interrupt you. My wife is a tennis novice. I mean, but she like knows the players because it's always on in the house. But we actually had that match on, and she was watching it, and we were on our honeymoon, and she's like, I can't believe that Sabalenka won that match. She's like that other girl outplayed her.
I can't believe Raducanu didn't win a set. Like, that's crazy. I know Raducanu set betters.
It was 7-6 the first set, right? Was it a tiebreaker in the second too?
7-6. No, second was 6-4, but Raducanu was up 4-1 double break. So, like, if you think about it, I know Raducanu set betters that were sick after that match. It's like, what did we say? Good read, wrong play. It's like, you were on it. These two young players that have played 3 times with Kostuk having the head-to-head 2-1. Last time they played was in Madrid this year. Kostuk won a long 3-set match. Raducanu, and then before that, you'd have to go back to 2022. So they don't have a lot to speak of history-wise, but I think motivation is a big thing too. These are two young, relatively same-age players that are, trying to prove that they're better than the other. So that's one I'm going to be keeping my eye on for sure. I also had one on here. I mean, Kenin Baptiste. I want your opinion on this one, Dustin, because this has been a trendy upset pick across the board, right? Sofia Kenin minus 177 on the money line seems like a pretty high juice to play against Baptiste, who has been in better form, who, again, Andreeva, beat her pretty good at Wimbledon, but has been going deep into tournaments and is the local favorite. Outside of Frances Tiafoe, the next biggest local player in that area and in all of the tournament is Hailey Baptiste. So is this a trap that we're walking into if you like Baptiste, or do you think this is a live underdog play?
This is a trap play, I think.
Trap play.
Yeah, I like Kenin.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I've always been a Sofia Kenin fan, even though she hasn't done shit since she won a Grand Slam. But I'm not going to touch this match, to be honest with you. But I don't love Baptiste. I honestly, like, the home crowd thing like the Tiafo angle is interesting because a lot of people think that Tiafo is going to like all of a sudden win this tournament because it's his home tournament and all these things. It's like I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Sometimes it works against you. Sometimes
Right,
the pressure's a lot, and sometimes like we saw the Dan Evans match the year Evans won. Tiafo Evans, I think it was a semi match where it was tight and Evans just outplayed Tiafo and the crowd. So, yeah, I agree. Sometimes you don't.
Was that like 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah. You don't realize what it can do for the opponent. We talk so much about, oh, the crowd's going to uplift it. But some players, Novak Djokovic is the best example maybe in all of sports history, but some players can thrive being on the road. Some players don't like it, but a lot of players do. So one thing I would say about Baptiste is that she's gone over a lot of matches this year. So if you find an angle on an over, maybe a first set over or games over, I think that could be one because she's played a lot of long matchups. But there's star power in this one. Women's side also has, Naomi, Osaka, Putintseva. She's a big favorite.
What do you think about Osaka, man? Could she make a little run here before
I think so.
Getting back to NYC and shining bright?
Boy, she's had some brutally close losses. It has to just be eating at her that she's close. She's not getting outclassed in a lot of these matchups like Wimbledon. Pavlyuchenkova, she's right there. I would say yes. And I think Putintseva, the last time we saw her, she lost in about 30 minutes to Anisimova at Wimbledon. So I would say maybe if you like Naomi and you think this is the time, better to win in straight sets would be where I would lean. I think this is actually the type of matchup that I do think favors Naomi because I think she could hit through a lot of the, I don't want to say just junk, but the variety we'll go that way that Putintseva has. So looking at it right now on Bet Rivers, if you go Naomi straight set win, you're looking at minus 118, I think. Yeah, minus 118. So that's kind of where I would lean.
You think that Mouratoglou has helped her?
I do because I think I'm going to choose my words carefully.
I think it's kind of a bad rap by some people in the tennis world.
He does. Well, I'm going to choose my words carefully because I think it's a complex thing.
Do that.
I think he's not. I think he gets a bad rap if you are expecting technical like coaching, because that's never been him.
He taught himself how to be a coach.
Right. He's a good motivator. I think he understands the psychology of the sport as well as anyone. But yeah, he's not at the level, and that's fair, right? I think he would even admit it. There's coaches that played at a high level that are more technically sound, that their coaching expertise is how to construct shots and points better than him. But I think as a motivator, especially as a champion, his track record is someone that's great or great adjacent. He can work with them to get him over there. And I think that's where she struggled because we know the game's there. I mean, she's a four-time. She doesn't play again, Dustin. She's a Hall of Famer. So, I think she is close. And with the women's game the way it is, I think there's an opportunity for a breakthrough coming up for her.
Dude, Nike doesn't make a lot of logos for individual sport players, and she has one.
No, they don't. Uniqlo's just kicking themselves that they couldn't figure out that deal for their homegrown.
Uniqlo's stock's got to be just going down.
Wow, tough one for Dan Evans. Well, he could be breaking back here. He's 0 for 5 as we got our comment in the chat on break points. He does get broken, but we have break point as Berg serves for the match 5-3. We'll see how this one goes as Altmaier looks to take it home versus Rinaldi. Also, how about our guy? We got a
first set, not for the match.
First set, yes, first set. We've also, first set. Sorry, my excuse. We've also got the first set. Shout out Bublik, man, right? Like, how about his performance? Bublik just winning another clay title. That guy, man, he does look like a new man, right? Like, he has a crumble in the second set. I saw the racket smash, but he just digs in and wins the third set. I'm like, who is this guy?
He's a guy that appears to maybe have like found himself later in life. And well, not later in life, but later in his tennis career, his tennis journey. And as somebody who, like myself personally, I've made a lot of changes in my life in the last couple of years that people evolve, right? And I think we're not obviously a finished product. Right. And that now lets me see things a little bit differently because I know where I was in my life like 5 years ago compared to where I am now. It's like night and day. So I can see anything happen with these guys, especially somebody like Bublik. I hear him talk, and there are things that he says that I'm like, yep, I've been there. Get that. Makes sense. Okay, this is why he's winning. Like the guy has found something. We all have to have that something that sort of motivates us or puts us at peace, And he seems like a guy who for the rest of his career, however long it may be. It could be 5 years. It could be this year. Who knows? Because the guy will make decisions based on, what he thinks is going to be best for him. And obviously that's what he should do. But he's going to be fun to watch, and he'll be dangerous.
I think so too. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see, right? It's just, and he plays an exciting style of tennis too. He mixes in the drop shots. He has a good cat and mouse approach.
Well, he's a showman. He's a showman.
Yeah.
And now I think he's not being as big of a dick on the court. He's more of like, because people love Monfils. They love the show, right? And if you're a nice guy and likable, it's really fun and to cheer for you. And I think he's getting people cheering for him more. And maybe he's like, you know what? Like, remember when LeBron went to Miami and LeBron was like, oh, I want to be a villain. I want to be. He
wasn't built for that. He wasn't built for that.
Villain. Maybe Bubak's like, maybe I'm not a villain.
The hardest part of the coaching a player like that is you never want them to lose their identity, but you probably need to rein in some of the showmen. Like there's a time and place for it. There's certain things. Your DNA is what makes you, but also let's just try some new things. And I do think he's not, he had a couple underarm serves. He's trying a couple of things. He knows when to go for his shots and really to, turn it on, but he's playing smarter too. So mark of a good coach working with him there. So other things I want to talk about, I did want to have some fun with some of the doubles matchups too, but any other underdogs, the men's matchups we're looking in the first round. I think Kovacevic, Halas is an interesting one. Munar, Garone too, but we've also seen some juiced odds. So I guess the question I have, Dustin, is there an underdog you like? Just a money line play that we're looking at coming up today. Anything that might jump out at you
today in DC? We're talking Umag. We're talking all of them.
Yeah, any of them. Yeah, we can open it up to Umag. Let's go. I think they're like pretty much done for the day, though. I think they got like their last matches going through. But I'm looking at the DC schedule, and I was going to
go ahead. But I will have a dog for you in about 15 seconds. The one that I actually had circled this morning, but I didn't like.
Well, my dog is actually tomorrow, and I don't want to spoil it. We'll see. We'll see what it is. But who's your dog? If it's today, or is it?
It's Bagnus, 160.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, let's go. Why do you like that one?
Familiarity with the surface. I think Arthur had a nice run in Wimbledon, and I think it's going to be a quick exit here for him.
Wow. No, I like that. That's good. I think that's the one. The one that I was looking at too for tomorrow is Sakkari Vajda against Kekmanovic plus 190. He just won his first challenge. He just won his challenger tournament. I think the kid's been playing well in American that has a lot of track record, and I like him at that price, plus 190. I think he can go out there and win.
Okay. So I know nothing about him, but I will follow your lead, and I'm going to watch it.
Study his game and see. Yeah. I wasn't going to say, you thought I was going to say Venus Williams.
Dude, I love her. Great career. Did you see the videos of her practicing?
Yeah. I don't want to.
She's going to get steamrolled.
I don't want to.
Unless Peyton Stearns is going to be nice. But we don't need a Bill Ackman situation.
No, we don't. We don't. I don't want to begrudge a legend, someone that's accomplished so much. And look, tournaments can do whatever they want for wild cards. As Riley Opelka famously said, no one deserves a wild card. So that said, if we're going to look at this objectively in a tennis space, I agree with what you're saying.
Serena deserves wild cards.
Venus has what? Yeah, I guess Venus has a ton of slams too. And who would have known what would have happened? But
I know. But dude, I mean,
it's tough. When movement goes, it's tough,
Yeah.
How about this though? So the doubles pairs I was talking about, Kyrgios back on court with Monfils taking on knees and Roger Vasselin plus 180, or do you like Tiafoe Shelton as slight underdogs against Ebden and Pierce?
I'm not betting on Kyrgios against anybody.
Former slam champion in doubles, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, with his homeboy Kokkinakis, right?
Yep.
But I don't see it. I mean, I watched when he played with Djokovic, and they had a good time. Dude, I just don't think Kyrgios has enough discipline right now to do anything.
Why is he doing this from the sense that, like, if he does it, I don't think he's serious about singles, because if he's got wrist issues, it's almost like you have a limited number of forehands to hit in that wrist. So why would you be wasting it on doubles? But
I just think the guy doesn't love tennis,
mm-hmm.
or doesn't care enough about his tennis career, like as a singles player, which is what we really think about as tennis. as a singles player, but like it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is.
I was a huge Kyrgios fan. I kind of still am a fan. Like when he plays, he's must see TV if he's playing all right. You know what I mean? But I just don't understand. You're right. The risk, like, why would you even play a bullshit doubles thing?
I wonder that too, but he's going to have some fun with Monfils and, you know, give the fans
Well, that's
something.
the thing, dude. He cares more about fun.
I agree with you betting. Like
is Warzone on Call of Duty Xbox. Like that's what the guy likes playing video games more than probably playing tennis.
Yeah. And this comment,
like, dude, I'm 42 now. I'm retired, and he'll be 42 probably sooner than you think.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of time to play Xbox.
I know it's a quick life too. And just to note on our comment, I agree too. I mean, Hailey, Kovacevic, you wonder. I use it the post final, you know, fatigue. So I think Quinton Hailey would be the play I'd favor over Garone, just because I always wonder how a player is going to respond after that first final. Not first final, but after a final when they're, you know, young in their career and then having to go play. So that'd be the one. But yeah, Garone too against Munar. Munar's an interesting cat. You know, Garone's favored in that match, but they're both minus. So good place to wrap up, Dustin. This is fun catching up with you, talking tennis again. Any other final thoughts?
Man. Sorry, I was a little late and getting back in the mix, dude. Like it's been,
I'm telling you, brother,
the last 3 weeks of my life has been a lot. Not complaining, except that I just recovered from COVID, sort of almost recovered from COVID. I had a really bad bout with it over the last, 7 to 10 days. Before that was honeymoon stuff, wedding, all that's great stuff. That's easy, fun. But this last week was really brutal. But it's good to be back home, getting back in the mix of things and finally being able to work, dude. I not only could I not work with you, my other 2 podcasts that I do in my TV show, I couldn't do for the last week either. So this is it, man. Good to be back on the air. And this week I get to start a little college football with ESPN.
Oh, that's great.
Detroit doing the Mac Media Day stuff. And then before you know it, in about a month, we'll be doing games. So
I can't wait. This is great because we're leading up into just a great sports rush. It starts with tennis, obviously. But yeah,
brother,
we got a lot.
I got to tell you a secret. So week 1 college football is Labor Day weekend. I don't have my game assignment yet, but it doesn't matter because my game will be either Saturday or Friday. Sunday, I'll be in NYC for US Open.
Let's go.
We're doing Sunday, Monday. So like that Sunday and then Labor Day Monday, I'll be on Ash.
Let's go. Love it. Love it. Well, we also have the Betting Weekly Studios newsletter. Go to the website, bettingweeklystudios.com. You get expert opinions by all the handicappers. So you want to really dig into the smart stuff of betting, go get the newsletter, sign up. It's simple, and you'll be ahead of the curve as we all want to be. And you can see the profits as well. Like it's really great. So bettingweeklystudios.com. Dustin, this was a blast. Thanks to everybody out there watching, commenting. We got this show again, Betting Weekly Tennis Live, 1 o'clock Eastern time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all year. So all year, every week, we're going through it. The tennis season doesn't stop, and we're in the North American hardcourt swing, so it's going to be sweet going forward. So Dustin Fox, it was a pleasure, man. Thanks for doing the show.
Sounds good, guys. Later. See ya.
We'll talk to you later. This is Betting Weekly Tennis Live. I'm your host, Mitch Michals. Enjoy the tennis. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, because we win, all on the Bet Rivers Network. Enjoy it.